How to create habits and stick with them. This is one of my favorite topics. My name is Anna DeSalvo, and I'm a time freedom coach. I help passionate, driven business owners reclaim control of their time so they can have more freedom, flexibility, and fulfillment. So, how do we create habits and stick with them? Have you ever found yourself struggling to stay consistent with a behavior that helps you reach your goals? Maybe you're a business owner and you struggle to post on social media consistently. I hear that one a lot. Or you're a busy working parent who has a hard time fitting themselves on the schedule, showing up for themselves the way they show up for their professional accomplishments. This video is for you. Why am I so passionate about habits? Because it's literally the building blocks between where you are now and where you want to go. And it's literally this step by step blueprint to get there. Okay. So these have to start though with our priorities and goals. A lot of times we we're like, I need better habits to wake up earlier, or I need better habits to eat better. But it's not necessarily aligned with where we want to spend our time right now. So when we know where we desire to spend our time, it's much easier to put our energy into building these behaviors that get us where we need to be to help us literally become the person who achieves that goal and then is ready for the next one. It also helps us say no to things that don't fit into these containers. So, first, it's important that we really spend our time identifying where those priorities and goals should be. And that is exactly what I do in my Clear Your Plate offering, which is available on my website, annadesalo.com. So once we do that, once we develop these containers, okay, where are we spending our time in the season we are presently in? And I don't mean like the season, like the weather and the changing in the fall and summer, although I do like fall. Let me know if you like fall also. But it's really about, okay, what is going on in my life right now? Where is most of my energy practically going to go? And then where are some areas on the side that I'd like to spend some energy? We form goals. And this is really the trick. I've done videos on this before, but it has to be a behavior based goal. I personally don't operate in achievement based goals for a lot of reasons, but the number one is I like to focus on what I can control essentially. And while we can work towards that achievement, sometimes it's not the right goal. And if you are a faith based person, then you are going to surrender that outcome to a higher power. And so, really, what it comes down to is okay, what am I going to do to start action, start working towards something? And that path might change over time, but you are in motion and you're working towards building those behaviors. So, our goals should really be focused on what we do. I have an IGTV video that I'll link in this video in the comment section of this video that will go over a system that I use to help make goals that are sort of aligned with the vision for where you want to be going. Last, okay, so this is the part. So now you're like, Anna, we haven't even talked about habits at all. Okay, now this is the part where you actually do the thing. Okay, habits are a behavior pattern, it's establishing a behavior pattern. So when we start building the habit, we need a little spark of motivation. I call this a power phrase. And then we build that motivation into action that solidifies the new behavior. So this allows our body to go into routine mode once we have done it for a while. And that means we don't have to focus on that behavior anymore. So that eventually, once we've established that habit, it takes it off our to-do list altogether, which is how I end up with a 3 by 3 to-do list. And generally that's enough space for me to get the things that I need to get done. So we really need about 30 to 60 days to solidify this. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, sometimes it's a little bit shorter. But the habit loop is what I teach in my work. And I learned it all the way back when I read Hal Elrod's The Morning Miracle Morning. I always say it wrong, but just look up Hal Elrod in The Morning Miracle and you'll see it. I learned about the habit loop. And then since then, there's been other books that have been written on the topic. But it's really about, okay, what is the thing that's going to make it easy for me to do the thing, whatever that thing is? So, say you'd like to work out more. Well, we're going to go back to our priorities. Is it aligned with our priorities, our health? do we have a behavior-based goal? I work out 5 days a week. That's an example that I generally use because that was a habit that I built for a very long time. And then what is it going to remind me? Oh, I need to go work out. Okay, maybe it's a timer, maybe it's a calendar pop up, maybe it is just putting your clothes out. It really just depends, but it's something that makes it easy for you to do the thing. The routine that you're establishing is actually doing the thing. So that's where the motivation comes in to get started on it. And then a reward. This is what I get for doing the thing. And sometimes the reward can be just like the intrinsic, I feel really good after I work out. And sometimes it can be a little bit more nuanced, meaning that you are artificial in that you go and you choose something that is maybe, you know, you get yourself something, or you invest in some time into something that you haven't put a lot of time into. So you can kind of think about what motivates you generally. And I like to attach this to the 5 love languages in the work that I do. And so generally that's kind of how I coach people through that process. So then you do the thing, this habit loop, you put the thing out, you do it for, 80% accuracy is about what you need, 30 to 60 days. And it is challenging in that 2 to 3 week time period. You start getting into what I call kind of the suck phase. Okay. So, part where you're like, why am I doing this again? Like, oh, I don't really want to do this anymore. And that's the part where that motivation really helps again. Um, and there's more that you can do in that work. And it can really be helpful to work with a coach or somebody through that process, because sometimes it's just really hard to push through that little barrier there, but you can do it. That's kind of the work that I do in my Create Time Freedom offering, which is a new offering. And it's really for those folks who, they're driven, they love what they do, they love pursuing the passion for their career, but they really, notice that their life is sort of imbalanced right now, and they would like to be spending their time in some other areas. And I help you practically do that in that offering. So while you're thinking about this process, I'm going to recap it really quickly. Um, while I recap it, though, I want you to think about these questions. Think about what you are currently trying to accomplish. Does it align with your priorities? Is it a behavior-based goal that you're working towards, something that you can control? And have you set yourself up for success to build the behavior pattern? So let's recap the process of habits. First, make sure that you have a goal that's in aligned with your priorities. If you're not really sure where your priorities are, that's what I do in my Clear Your Plate offering. And then create a behavior-based goal. That means something that is aligned with only what you can control. So again, I gave the example of I work out 5 days a week. That is a goal that you can work on. You know whether or not you've checked it off the list or not. And then the last piece is that habit loop, which is, okay, what am I doing to remind myself to do the thing? I'm doing the thing. And then what will I do as a reward for doing the thing? And I usually, again, attach that to sort of those 5 love languages, whatever your predominant one is. It helps. Okay, so now that I have gone through that process with you, I would love to hear from you. Like, what habit are you trying to form right now? What reflections did you come away from in this process? And any questions that you have below. Again, I will link my Clear Your Plate offering, my Create Time Freedom offering, and then that IGTV video that will give you a little bit more coaching through what it looks like to create a goal that helps you build these